Good morning. All right. I know most of these have already been submitted, so thank you very much. But I wanted to go through some questions that came up on these slides. So if you haven't completed it, hopefully this will help you out. On slide number 4, we were using this as brainstorming. So in each of these boxes, just answer the writing prompt. Like, what is something what is something you would like to persuade someone else to do? If I was going to persuade somebody, I would say make your bed each morning. Maybe I would want to persuade them to start eating healthy. All right, on this, so just make like a few, those don't all need to be capitalized. A few ideas, like what is something, if I said, hey, I want you to write a persuasive essay, what is something you would like think about, oh, I want to persuade people to do? And then on inform, what is something not that you want to inform people about, but something that you want to be informed about? So I was thinking, okay, I want to check all my car fluids. That's important. I should be informed on. And knowing how to turn off my utilities. Reminds me, I need to tell my husband again. He needs to teach me that. And so I would put a few things there. So I'm only putting a couple here, for example, but you would add more. Okay, just like 4 or 5 things is it. Okay, last one. Entertain. Describe a story in your life that would be entertaining. Oh, something in my life that would be entertaining, I would say, was going white water rafting. Or let's see, going paddle boarding. Okay, so remember when we were doing like your narrative, something that you would want to write a story about, okay? So just give me a few options there. The one on self-reflect, you don't have to do anything on self-reflect. We just talked about when an author is writing something, they're either trying to persuade you, inform you, or entertain you. Sometimes there's a combination. But there's also self-reflection. That's typically when you're writing something and it's for yourself. So if you're writing something for yourself to self-reflect on, we call that like keeping a diary or journaling. That's when you're observing and thinking about your character, your actions, your motives, your reactions, and things that you're like, maybe I need to fix how I reacted to that and how you could better approach things. That would be like a self-reflection. So we're not going to do a lot of self-reflecting in a way that I would be reading it or we would be reading each other's. So you don't need to really brainstorm on that. I don't want you to put things down that you need to self-reflect on. That should be something you would journal. Okay, slide 5, there's nothing to do on here. It just gives you examples of what persuading, informing, and entertaining is. Slide 6, this is where you had to discuss the author's purpose, and I gave you an example here. So if it was a booklet containing school rules and the consequences for breaking them, you're going to tell me what is the author's purpose and explain your answer. So on this one, the author's purpose is to inform me. So not to persuade me or entertain me, but to inform me about what the rules are. And yeah, there's consequences if you break them. So, and then I give my explanation. So you're going to do that same thing for slide 6 and slide 7. Okay, so just read it. Like an article where the author argues that the iPhone is better than the Android phone. What is the purpose? Why would an author write that? And then explain your answer. How do you know that's what they're looking for? Okay, so that was it for slides 4 through 7. Now, slides 8. Slide 8. This is a just a passage about somebody's opinion about is the country always relaxing. So read the passage, and then on 9, it gives you examples of, like, if I were to ask you, what main idea is the author trying to convince the readers to agree with? All right, and this gives you an example of what you would look for when you're looking for a main idea and keywords and that you would be looking for to help point out an author's main idea. So it gives you examples from that passage. And same with number 2, how does the author's choice of words influence how the readers think about the topic? Word choice is huge, and we've been kind of discussing that. We're going to continue discussing that on Zoom. So, so words that were chosen in this passage were like challenging, hard work, perseverance. Those are all contrast to relaxing. So they're looking for words that are opposite of relaxing because they're trying to convince us that the country life is not relaxing. Okay. Um, so make sure that you look through these. These are just examples of what you would look for in a passage to answer these 3 questions. The third question being, how does the author's choice of facts or examples influence the readers? Okay, keep in mind, there's usually lots of facts in different areas, in different topics. Okay, so if some people, when they're writing, are only going to point out certain facts that they want you to know. That doesn't mean they're giving you all the facts, just what they want you to know. So are their facts true? Probably. But the way they word them and the way they present it to you is usually meant to convince you. And in that way, they might leave some facts out that don't fit what they're trying to convince you. Okay? So you have to think about the facts that they're giving you and then start thinking, okay, but there's probably other facts involved here that I want to think about. Okay? So once you look at those 8, 9, and 10 were just examples, then you're going to read a different passage on your own on slide 11 and then answer the questions on slide 12. These 3 questions are similar questions to the ones that we saw in slides 9 and 10 about the passage on country living that is on slide 8. Okay, so you should be able to look at those examples to help you form your answers for these questions. Okay, again, we're focusing on perspective and we're focusing on author's purpose. So once these are done on slide 12, you're completed with this assignment. Make sure that you give me question embedded answers, complete answers, support it always, always, always with evidence from the text. Okay, and then make sure that you turn it in.